In response to growing pressure on the early education and care system, the new Labour government is forging ahead with plans to create thousands of nursery places inside existing primary schools in England. A 2024 report from authoritative voices in the field concluded, weighing up all the evidence, the most important single action for narrowing the gap is the provision of high-quality teacher-led early education. Sylvan Eisenstadt, 2024. At face value, this new policy direction, which appears to be being implemented at pace, seems to be an evidence-based solution to a significant problem. In this blog post, we highlight a significant challenge to these endeavours. There is a gap in the evidence base on how to best support school leaders in the UK to ensure that early years provision within their schools is the highest quality. Findings from the international evidence base suggest that leadership plays a central role in influencing quality. Douglas, 2019. A further expansion of school-based early years provision creates enormous possibilities for integrating early years and primary school systems. School-based early years provision is not new in the UK. In 2023, almost 1 million children followed the early years foundation stage in a school-based setting, either in nursery or in reception classes. DFE, 2023. A further expansion of school-based provision creates enormous possibilities for integrating early years and primary school systems, and there is compelling evidence of the importance of strong coordination at this point. Bennett and Karga, 2010. Specific challenges for schools. While schools may be more resilient to some of the challenges facing the wider early years sector, they are also not exclusively focused on working with this age of children. Recent policy and practice developments have led some experts to raise awareness of an ideological struggle between the research on age-appropriate practices and the climate of child performativity in the English school system. In a society that generally does not understand or value the unique importance of the first 5 years, it is arguably not surprising to find limited support systems for leadership to be able to deliver high-quality, evidence-informed, age-appropriate provision for the youngest children at the same time as focusing on quality and associated accountability for older children. Factors influencing this include, but are not limited to, the lack of any mandatory training for school leaders on early childhood development. This means those with ultimate responsibility for the care and education of under fives may have significantly different interpretations of what high quality looks like. Governance across organizations that affect levels of autonomy available to provide responsive, context-specific provision also plays a role. Changes at the system level, such as to the statutory framework, the introduction of the reception baseline assessment, or the early years specific knowledge of an Ofsted inspector, may affect what school leaders need or perceive they need to do to comply with regulations and accountability measures. What should the Labour government do? There are many examples of schools already offering excellent provision for younger children, developed thoughtfully by those involved. However, as policy changes could lead to more schools expanding on their provision for younger children, it seems there is a significant gap in the evidence base on factors that influence the leadership of high-quality, school-based early education and systems integration. To address this gap, we propose that we urgently need to systematically review school leaders' competencies and experiences in early education and child development. We should investigate what school and system-level elements impact leaders' decision-making in relation to the provision of early years education and care. It's also crucial to identify the types of support and reform that could help mitigate the barriers to age-appropriate early years provision in schools. The current policy direction seems to be based on some significant assumptions about school leadership. We argue that rapid investment in investigating how best to support school leaders with evidence-informed policy is where the Labour government needs to direct its focus.